What's good, YouTube? Since I successfully re-entered the job market, one requirement I see over and over again more recently is familiar with or experienced in Docker and Kubernetes. Now, I'm using Docker every day, but the last time I touched Kubernetes was some time ago. I then went on YouTube to refresh my memory for the upcoming interviews, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted on how I just can't find any reasonable Kubernetes crash course for .NET developers. The stuff that goes 1 hour and beyond is way too comprehensive and still doesn't give me the kind of understanding that I need as a C# guy, and I cannot be bothered to watch 1 hour or more of a generic tutorial that is 6 years old and has nothing to do with my personal needs or Azure or .NET. And the shorter ones are even worse, so since the internet is lacking a decent way to onboard my beloved terminal-first .NET community to this fascinating piece of technology, I decided to just make it myself. I make my own little mini course, particularly for you, C# people needing to work with Kubernetes, but without being required to run and rescue a cluster of hundreds of VMs with thousands of containers on a Black Friday. The videos of this playlist will be small in number and duration. They will be easy to digest and you will get the accompanying material and code along with every video. By the end of this course, you will understand well enough what Kubernetes is, what it is used for, how it is used, and in order to make that happen, we will Dockerize the .NET application, let it run in Kubernetes locally with Minikube, and in the end, let it run in the cloud, in this case Azure with AKS, aka Azure Container Services. But before we touch the technology, it is important to establish some common ground so that we all know what we're talking about. So let's jump into some basic terminology. Number one, you have some experience developing and running applications, preferably in the terminal. If not, check out my playlist, CLI-Essentials.net, and also my C# and even playlist. Number two, you are familiar with the common Docker commands like Docker build, Docker run, Docker compose, up, pull, down, etc. And third, you understand how .NET applications are containerized and run with Docker. If not, watch my playlist, Blaze in the Terminal, where I showcase all of that. Once you're ready, here's the core terminology that you need to internalize in order to understand what we're talking about. So number one, we have Docker, right? Like easy, Docker runs containers. Number two is Kubernetes. Kubernetes is a container orchestration system built on top of Docker. It manages containers across multiple machines and keeps the desired state. Now inside Kubernetes we have a couple of components that I would like to show you in a painting that I just painted for you. So what we see are the basic building blocks of our Kubernetes system, the ones that we focus on in the context of this playlist, since they are the most essential. So I'm going to start from the inside out, right? So we have a pod. Pod is the smallest working unit inside Kubernetes. It is not a container. It is a Kubernetes management unit holding containers. That's why you see it inside here, right? If you then need multiple containers within the same pod, depends on if those containers need to scale and schedule together, meaning if they need to live and die together. But usually you would have one pod with one container. Then you see this little flag right here, right? Replica/ReplicaSet. So replica is simply one copy of a pod. And ReplicaSet is a Kubernetes object that ensures that we have a certain number of replicas running. I put this into the dotted line here because although you can configure replica sets particularly as Kubernetes object, you don't have to. Usually the replica set is managed over the deployment. And the deployment is an object in Kubernetes that manages pods and replica sets. And again, we will see all of this in action in future videos. Just for now, this is the basic structure. The next thing you see right here is the service box. And the service in Kubernetes is a networking endpoint routing HTTP traffic to a pod. And it's doing so by labels. So you would label your pod, and the label is just a key value pair to identify and address your resources within your Kubernetes deployment. So your pod, So your pod would have a label, and then the service would know by the label where the HTTP traffic needs to go. The service would have an IP address that you can send requests to from the outside world, then would look at the label and know, okay, like this HTTP request needs to go to this pod, etc. Labels are heavily used in the Kubernetes world, not only by services, but also by the deployments to know what pods to manage, etc. And that is all for the vocabulary right now. I will put a CSV file containing questions about this little picture right here into the article, so you can put the CSV file into your Anki, so you can prepare for interviews and really burn this stuff into your brain, so you have the foundation for the upcoming videos and possible interviews or whatever. And just for sake of completion, we also have something that is called AKS, which is Azure Kubernetes Services, which simply runs Kubernetes in Azure. And then we have, of course, Minikube. And this is a tool that creates a small Kubernetes cluster locally on your machine for development and learning purposes. It's like a mini cluster on your local machine. And we're going to use this within the context of this playlist. So that was it for the terminology. This vocabulary is sufficient to understand what you're doing when you're being onboarded into a Kubernetes team, you're working with the DevOps guys, or maybe you want to pass an interview question or two. Mind you, this does not aim to be a comprehensive Kubernetes course. I deliberately cut out all the terms and concepts that are not strictly required to get up and running. Topics like config maps and secrets, observability, persistent volume, stateful sets, all this kind of stuff. As you finish this playlist, you will have what it takes to deepen your understanding of Kubernetes and explore those more sophisticated topics as needed. That being said, see you in the next video where we're going to Dockerize the .NET application and run it in Kubernetes locally. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.